Joe Manchin, Democratic Senator from West Virginia, has been a thorn in the side of Democrats since the day Joe Biden was elected. Joe Manchin sacrificed the working and middle class on the altar of bipartisanship more times than you can count. He's been the burr under the saddle, the sand in the gears, the obstructionist for all things progressive, and he's still all of those things. But at least he wants to save democracy. Manchin signaled yesterday that he is on board with standing up to Trump's systematic destruction of this country. I'm going to get into Manchin lining up with Democrats, but first, let's take a quick look at how Russia is dismantling this country without having to fire a shot. We all know that Trump is a malignant narcissist who is bent on destruction. Just listen to George Conway.
That he is a narcissistic sociopath, a malignant narcissist, and that those characters, and you've heard me say this multiple times, are inherently destructive. And I've written a lot about it. I've talked to a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists over the years. There's one additional thing about this kind of character. People like Trump, malignant narcissists, actually do subconsciously or consciously seek to destroy.
So the thing is, while I and 90% of America's psychiatrists and psychologists agree with Conway, it's too easy to get stuck in the weeds with Trump. We have to keep our eyes focused on the fact that Trump is just a tool. Well, I know he's always been a tool, but this time he's really a tool, a Russian tool. The goal here is to dismantle the U.S. government so that it is politically unable to act. And Trump is the dismantler in chief. Just look at his proposed cabinet appointments. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Fox News host, serial cheater, now accused of sexual assault. And here's another little fact nobody in the media is talking about. He's a right-wing Christian nationalist who has advocated for, wait for it, the destruction of Muslim holy sites in order to build the Third Temple in Jerusalem. This is the crackpot that's being nominated for Secretary of Defense. Then we have Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who is a Russian asset. Attorney General Matt Gaetz, accused sex trafficker. Secretary of Health and Human Services, the whale decapitator, dead bear depositor, and anti-vaxxer and cheat, RFK Jr. Secretary of Homeland Security is dog and goat shooter and swayer to the music, Kristi Noem. And the list goes on and on, but the picture is clear. These people are being put in place for the destruction of our government, nothing less. And then let's not forget these two clowns, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, whose illegal jobs it is to eliminate the federal workforce in the name of efficiency. The point is, Trump 2.0 is going to be directed, unleashed chaos with very few guardrails. The Democrats have 2 months to start building those guardrails, and they have to start doing it now. Enter Joe Manchin. In what amounts to blockbuster news and blocking Trump and his clown car from systematically destroying this country, Manchin plans to help shore up the most important guardrail Democrats can build, the judiciary. Axios is reporting this. Senator Joe Manchin suggested Thursday that he is open to voting for Democratic judicial nominees, even if they can't secure any Republican support. Manchin, they write, pledged in the past he would only vote for nominees who could get at least one GOP vote. His reversal could be key to Democrats reaching a key milestone on federal judges. And in what has to be one of the starkest estimates of what is coming down the pike, Axios asked Manchin why he is changing his stance, and Manchin replied, "We're in different times now," adding, "My Republican friends are under the microscope." And there you have Manchin in a nutshell. If he hadn't killed so many Biden initiatives that would have benefited the working and middle class and the American economy in general, he'd be almost admirable for resisting the extreme polarization that characterizes Republican politics. But he did, along with crazy Kristen Sinema, who put herself out of a job with her bipartisanship that wasn't even remotely quaint. The point is, we need guardrails, we need obstacles, and we need resistance. There are pockets here and there. Just look at how many Republicans are lining up to sink the Matt Gaetz appointment. So great, they're going to sink Matt Gaetz, but that still leaves RFK Jr., that still leaves Tulsi Gabbard. Are they going to sink all of those appointments as well? Not likely. So don't underestimate the judiciary. It's really easy to say, but the Supreme Court is bought and paid for, and you would be correct. They are. But this is what's coming down the pike. The Trump-Russia team is flooding the zone with this dismantling process, which is overwhelming on the one hand, but has one flaw to it. Most of what they are trying to do is illegal, and the Democratic resistance is prepared. Every time they try and abuse someone's rights, every time they try and just fire employees, eliminate this or torpedo that, they're going to end up in court every time. So it's important to get more federal judges on the bench who will rule based on law, not ideology. And sure, when the federal judges rule against the Trump-Russia administration, they're going to appeal. But during the appeal process, there will be a stay. And if there's one thing we learned from Trump, it's delay, 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 because we got the stay. And even more, when it does go to appeal, it stands a good chance of losing. The Supreme Court cannot hear every case. More often than not, the appeals courts define the law of the land. So Manchin joining his fellow Democrats to strengthen the judiciary is a major development in Resistance 2.0. But in some respects, we have to stop waiting for heroes to save us. We have to save us. What is your plan for Resistance 2.0? We all have to make one. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.